Hey everyone, it's Will from Garage Built Athlete here, finally with the review of the Westside Barbell Reverse Scout Hyper. So, as you can see, it's a bit of a beast, and looks wise it's awesome. Absolutely love the look of this machine. The black looks really good, the lettering's really good, it's built really well. It's basically like a little tank that you can fold up and keep in your garage. Let's have a little bit of an unboxing video, talk about some delivery, we'll have a look at the size, the weight, how to fold it and set it up, how to get it away, load capacity, actual use as well, maybe useful, and tell you a bit about what I think you need to know if you're trying to make a decision pulling the trigger on one of these bad boys. Buying the Hyper from Rogue Europe, really straightforward. I got an email come through to say they were in stock. I've been waiting on them coming into stock for a while, as they've been on the US site, but they hadn't been on the European site. And when I got the email, I just thought, oh, do you know what? I think I'm going to get one. And I ummed and ahed about it, as I like to do. Popped it in the basket, kept looking at it, kept waiting for it to go out of stock so I wouldn't have to then make a decision. It would be taken out of my hands. And a friend of mine who lives locally bought one, and it got delivered to the CrossFit box that I go to, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not missing out here, I'm not missing out again on another bit of kit, I'm going to go for it. It was roughly, including delivery, shipping, tax, all that kind of stuff, £400. If you want to get, you know, a full size Hyper, you're looking at £700–800 plus, and they haven't got the ability to fold away. You pay less, and in my opinion, for a garage gym, you get a lot more. It doesn't take up the footprint that you'd expect of a reverse Hyper, and yeah, you get all the functionality of one, to a degree. Delivery was pretty quick. Rogue quoted 10 to 15 working days. I think it was within, you know, that time scale. It wasn't outside of it. I wasn't, you know, chomping at the bit to get hold of it. It's a machine that I'd never used before, I'd heard a lot of good things about, and I wanted to have one just for strengthening the posterior chain. So if you haven't used one before, it's all about lower back, glutes, and just strengthening that all up. So it's going to help with your deadlifts, help with your squats. The one thing I'd say about delivery and receiving the package is the UPS weren't great. They text me to say it's going to be delivered the following day. Possibly text me on a Monday, it was going to come Tuesday. I got the exact same text on the Tuesday to say it was going to come Wednesday, and the exact same text again on the Wednesday to say Thursday. In the end, I downloaded the app and I just set the delivery for the following Monday, so I knew I'd be in to receive it. I couldn't keep waiting thinking, oh, it's going to be here tomorrow, oh, it's going to be here tomorrow. So that was a little bit of a pain. When it actually got here, the whole thing weighed 48 kilos, including the packaging. Really well packed, really well protected, and pretty straightforward to put together actually. There's not a lot to it. As you can see from the video, you're putting together, you know, pop the legs on, bolt them in, and then basically you're up and away. The hardest bit was taking it out of the packaging. It really was simple and straightforward. Now I posted I was going to do a review on the reverse Hyper, and I had some questions in terms of, you know, how big is it, how much room do you need, how much load can it take. So I'm going to go through those now. In terms of size, when it's set up, you know, I'm just shy of 6 foot, so you can see how tall it is on me. It's a pretty big bit of kit. When it's set up, it's 118 centimetres high, it's 81 centimetres wide, so that's that wide, and 168 centimetres long, and that includes when the arm is fully extended. The beauty of this is when it's folded, it folds away to practically nothing. So folded, it's 141 centimetres high, so it comes up a little bit. Still 81 centimetres wide, it ain't going to get any wider, but it's 31 centimetres deep. So when you can just prop it up against a wall, there's nothing to it. perfect for a garage gym. You sit it up against the wall, get it out of the way, it takes up hardly any space. With a garage gym, we all know space is premium. That big footprint is such a pain and you have to choose wisely. You don't have to compromise with this at all. In terms of space you need to use it, the manual instructions say to have 2 meters, which is basically what I've figured it out to be, plus your legs sticking out the other side, so 2 meters for the actual usage swinging, and it says 815 centimeters. I don't know why you'd need a meter, but okay, so you need a meter, that's what the instructions say. And then 60 centimeters worth of clearance all the way around, so you can walk around the thing. So, you know, if you've got 2 meters by 1.5 meters, then you can use it quite comfortably. You don't want to be crammed up against a wall or smashing into your other equipment when you're swinging this thing around. Make sure you've got enough space. The weight of the actual unit itself, once it's out of the packaging, so in terms of picking it up and moving it around, it's 40 kilos. It's not light, but you train, so, you know, that's all good. When you are moving it around, you know, it's quite bulky to just pick up like this if you needed to shift it, but actually when it's folded, really straightforward, picks up, so it feels very stable. Put it up against the wall, it stands up on its own as well, you don't have to lean it, so it will stand up, no problem when it's folded. Load capacity of the actual swing arm. Now, this would be an issue for me if I was strong. I'm not very strong, and having never used a reverse hyper before, it is hard. I mean, ridiculously hard. So God knows how these guys are loading these things up. But the manual says the maximum load in terms of plates you can put on the swing arm is 80 kilos. If you've got competition plates, you are going to be able to load this up with a lot more weight compared to if you've got bumpers. Like I've got bumpers and I've got some steel plates as well. Now you can see the difference in terms of the bumper thickness to the steel plates that I've got. If I had more steel, I'd be able to put more weight on the swing arm. I can't fit 2 20s either side to hit that 80 kilos of my bumpers, but I could fit 1 bumper and 1 steel on there and be able to get the clips on the end. I'm not going to be getting anywhere near that because I use this with 10 kilos on it for 3 sets of 20 just after I've deadlifted. I mean, I'm sure I will improve, I'm sure I will progress, but that's plenty enough for me. I can maybe stick 20 kilos on it and that would be a good workout. So when am I likely to use it? Well, Louis Simmons, who designed and created it, owner of Westside Barbell, he says he uses it before and after squatting and deadlifting. Absolutely get that. It's great for warming up the posterior chain for those movements. I've used it so far just after deadlifting, say 3 sets of 20, just to get used to it into the swing of things. I like my sessions to be a bit shorter. I don't like spending hours and hours and hours. I haven't got the time to do that. So yeah, 3 sets of 20 after a deadlift. I'm going to build it in to more of my sessions because it's so quick and easy to set up. Very minimal setup time and very minimal space impact on your garage. If you're thinking about getting a hyper, if you like the idea of it, I really don't think you're going to be disappointed with this machine. There's been some people reporting on things that they don't like about it. So for example, if you load it up with a decent amount of weight and you start using it, the front legs do tend to rock up a little bit and just come off the ground. For me, not so much of a problem. I'm not using it with that much weight, but if you are going to go heavier, you might get irritated by that. The solution there is stick a couple of plates up against the front legs. They're not going to go anywhere. Another issue is when you're swinging, if you have larger bumper plates, they could knock into your legs. Yeah, absolutely. Do get a bit of that when I'm using it. I'm not too fussed about it, but I can understand how that would be frustrating or irritating for people. You could use smaller plates like the steel plates. You're not going to have the same issue, but Olympic size bumpers, you might find that they're going to be hitting your legs a little bit. You need to put your legs a bit wider so they can go in the middle, in between where your legs are. If you are vertically challenged, this can be a little bit tricky to get on and off of. Like I say, I'm just under 6 foot, I can hop onto it, I can hop off. It does have a step on the back right leg, so once you put your feet through the straps, you can step onto that and then get yourself on, hold onto the handles and away you go, and same for stepping back off. Some people have said it would be good to have a step on both sides. I can see that. If you wanted to get your feet in, step on one, step on another, and then hop up onto the machine. But then you're looking at increase in production costs, and you know, money's quite tight. Do we really need 2 steps? Maybe get a step ladder. On the US site there is the option to have different length in terms of the arms, so you might need to have a shorter handle in case you can't reach. It's just set, there's no adjustment to this. That would be quite nice if you could have an adjustable handle on it. You know, just set it so it fits you. I think that would be a really good improvement to the machine. It's not got that, so you're just stuck with what you've got. Like I said at the start of the video, aesthetically this looks great. Exactly what you'd expect from Rogue Fitness. You know, it looks cool as, very nice in black. It's all really nicely finished off as well. However, it doesn't have Rogue written on it anywhere. It's like they're not quite sure whether they want it to go all in. Like Westside Barbell equipment, maybe like a sideline for them, and they didn't want to put their stamp on it. Possibly because it's made in China, they also might not have wanted to stick the Rogue logo anywhere on it, but it is a Rogue Fitness bit of equipment. They've designed it in collaboration with Westside Barbell. So for me now, it's just going to be a case of getting it into training every single week, making the most of it. Like I say, if you're thinking about buying one, you probably know what they are already if you're watching this video. I just pulled the trigger on it. You know, it's a hell of a bit of kit. I know 3 or 4 guys just in my area who went out and bought one and are loving it. A lot of the people from the Garage Built Athlete followers in the community, they've started buying them and they're loving them in the garage gym. It really is a great piece of kit. I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you went out and got one. But saying that, it's a hell of an investment. You know, no one has just going to be throwing around 400 quid without a second thought. So just think, do you really need it? Probably not. Do you want it? You probably do. Treat yourself. So that's a wrap for me. If you've enjoyed the first impressions review of the Westside Barbell Scout Reverse Hyper, please do give us a like. Leave a comment if you've got any questions. I'll answer them all. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. You can get daily content from Garage Built Athlete on Instagram and Facebook. Head on over there and give us a follow. Thanks everyone. Let's go.